EA Sports. It's in the game.
All right. I don't want to play now. I want to do my game mode. Playoffs. New. Gotta make it complicated. It can't just be easy, right? All right. I guess we'll stick with San Antonio again. Why not? Maybe not that actually our rating's going down. Or we can hang on. We'll see.
Coming to you live from the AT&T Center in San Antonio. It's the deciding game of the Western quarterfinals between the San Antonio Spurs and the Denver Nuggets. Hi, everybody. I'm Marv Albert along with Steve Kerr.
Starting at center, number 7, Fabricio Oberto. Starting at forward, number 12, Bruce Bowen. Starting at guard, number 4, Michael Finley. Starting at the other guard, number 9, Tony Parker. Starting at the other forward, number 21, Tim Duncan.
San Antonio has got to pull out all the stops
God,
here.
I hate this.
It's a one-game series.
Oh, can I change? Can I not change the... I broadcast. Let me broadcast the center court best. Yeah, broadcast works.
Anthony from downtown. A wide open shot.
Marv, it is so much easier to make a shot like that when you get a good pass from a teammate. That time, terrific offensive rhythm.
Delivery to Anthony. Anthony off balance.
What a great shot, Marv. Defensively, that's all you can do. Contest the shot and hope for the best.
He fires from downtown, and Bruce Bowen right back. Anthony gets it back to him. Jumper off the mark. Duncan on the rebound.
Nice offensive possession, Marv. They just couldn't get the shot to go.
Nice entry pass. Smith with the shot and rebounded by Parker.
Anytime you end up with a wide open shot, you've got to be happy. Hey, sometimes it just doesn't go in, Marv. Marv, what is he thinking? That's a terrible shot. I know it went in, but come on.
Iverson takes to the rim.
Marv, they did a terrific job getting the ball in the paint. Just didn't make the basket.
Duncan draws the double. Open shot. And Michael Finley able to knock it down. Here's Anthony. Parker fires from downtown. That's a 13-2 run for the Spurs.
Well, they've got to do anything necessary now, Marv, to stop the bleeding. This game's getting a little away from them. Time to stop this run and get this game back under control.
Good job by Bowen. That's his first miss of the night. The tip missed.
Marv, keep an eye on second chance opportunities as the game goes along. Offensive rebounds could be the difference in the game.
Smith with a layup opportunity. Here come the Spurs. Duncan with the move. Here's Duncan. And Tim Duncan is able to score.
Boy, that's a nice touch. Hand in his face, he still gets it to go.
Anthony looking to make his move and stuffs. Six-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. That was a three-point attempt. Yes. Iverson kicks it back out.
Definitely seems a little faster play than 2007, but it's fine.
Great defensive possession there, Marv. Everybody challenging their man.
Duncan gives it up. The first quarter comes to an end. The Spurs lead by 15. All right, here we go. They'll put it in play. Parker fires it, and Tony Parker showing his range. Denver back to the offense. Smith puts the speed on. Nice pass inside. Martin able to extend. Open opportunity, and Tony Parker right back. Smith kicks it out. Here's Iverson. Oberto ends up with it.
Like there's a lid on the basket here tonight, Marv. This club just hasn't been able to get anything to go.
Tim Duncan puts it down.
I don't think you can expect to win a basketball game when you give up hoop after hoop after hoop.
Smith putting the speed on. Here's Smith, and J.R. Smith converts. Parker feeling some confidence. Delivery to Iverson. Off the mark. Camby finds the room. Here's Parker. And Tony Parker once again. Here's Iverson. Duncan able to reach for him. Here's Oberto. Oberto with the shot, and he scores, getting the friendly roll. That's a 12-4 run for the Spurs.
Well, this team clearly ready to play tonight, Marv. They have come out on fire, playing with a lot of energy. They're very alert and active defensively, and really on quite a run right now.
Parker bringing it across for three, and able to knock it down. Smith to the rim. Good job by Smith. And the field goal. That's a 10-2 run for the Spurs.
Boy, this is getting ugly early, Marv. A blowout and now a big run. This team needs a timeout in the worst way. Terrific offense, Marv. They get an easy bucket because of solid execution.
Anthony takes to the rim, and Carmelo Anthony draws it,
Foul.
and he'll shoot two.
Oh, my timer. I forgot about
Anthony
that.
with
Hold on. I gotta switch that. It's been about that longish. I'm around there.
1 second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. He hit it.
Well, this is ridiculous, Marv. This game is spiraling out of control, and at some point you got to get a timeout. I would have called one 6-8 minutes ago, and yet the coach continues to just sit there and stare in disbelief. Well, they've got to continue to be patient and yet aggressive at the same time, Marv, if they're going to get back into it. And I like that move. Attack the rim, be very aggressive, and try to get yourself to the paint and maybe to the foul line.
Iverson has to pop it back out. Well, at the half, the Spurs lead by 31. The Spurs with a phenomenal first half, and how about the shooting from downtown?
A terrific display of perimeter accuracy, Marv. They got out, they spread the floor, they shared the basketball, and created excellent opportunities for each other.
And good spacing.
Terrific.
Here's
Getting these steals
Where's
off.
that been all night, Marv? This has been a
Moving
total
too fast.
disaster offensively, but still plenty of time. They can get back into this.
And they work it back the other way. And Bruce Bowen able to hit.
You want to know why a team is bad? This is why. No defense. Guys just shooting at will.
J.R. Smith puts it down.
Well, they need more of that, Marv, because when you're down big, you can't settle for long three-point shots. Continue to attack. That's a good start.
And Tony Parker on fire. Anthony looking for the open man. Open opportunity, and J.R. Smith able to drill it. He fires from downtown, and there's another. Here's Smith, and J.R. Smith will put it home. Parker looking for the open man. Here's Finley.
Well, this is how they've fallen behind by so much already, Marv. Too many easy baskets.
Iverson setting up, and the steal. Bowen looking for the opening, and Bruce Bowen able to put it down.
Well, when you're down big, Marv, it's important to just go ahead and quit, hand the ball to the other team, and say, all right, if you want to score again, that's fine with me. Well, it's been a long night for this club, Marv, and a lot of it is a lack of penetration. So finally, they get into the paint, get an easy hoop. They're going to need more of that to try to get back into this game. They've just given up way too many easy points here tonight, Marv. Penetration, offensive rebounds, you name it.
Martin with a layup opportunity.
Well, that's been the story of the night, Marv. They just can't get anything to go here this evening.
Finley with a nice pass. Here's Duncan.
Mark, just when you think things can't get any worse, the guy comes in, dunks in the lane, you foul him. Unbelievable. Just terrible defense tonight. That's why this team is trailing.
So it's a conventional three-point play. Smith takes all the way. J.R. Smith puts it down.
Well, finally an easy hoop, Marv, off of the rare penetration. Where has this been all night?
Oberto on a catch and shoot. 30 seconds left in the quarter. Spurs up by 39. And J.R. Smith not able to score.
Well, this team just hasn't been able to figure out a way to get the ball in the basket all night. There's another miss there.
That's a 13-4 run for the Spurs.
Very difficult situation to be in, Marv. You're getting pounded, but it's important to continue to play, continue to compete until the buzzer sounds. That's impressive, Marv. He draws the contact and finishes with a dunk. Unbelievable.
He is not able to take advantage of a three-point play possibility. And Carmelo Anthony will shoot two. Anthony to the line.
Marv, one mistake after another. They give up the offensive rebound off the miss. Now this team will go back to the free throw line.
And Carmelo Anthony with 15 points. Delivery to Duncan. That was a three-point attempt. And Michael Finley showing the touch.
Well, that's all you want offensively, Marv. A good look at the basket. That's been the story of the night. They are getting wide open shots. Excellent offensive execution.
So after three, the Spurs lead by 40. Anthony got it down low. Here's Martin. Here's Duncan. And Tim Duncan off the mark. Oberto able to extend.
You know, Marv, during an 82-game season, you occasionally have a night like this where nothing goes right, but you've got to find a way to get some energy out there.
Here's Anthony. And Carmelo Anthony could not finish. Finley feeling it and scores. Finley is 8 for 8 from the field. Finley comes up with a steal. Here come the Spurs. Here's Finley. And Michael Finley with 19 points.
That's it. There's a nice job. Really fight back when you're down big. Way to battle.
Smith to the rim. For three, yes. That's a 12-4 run for the Spurs.
Marv, it's going to happen. It's a long season. There are going to be nights like these where nothing goes your way, but it's important to continue to compete.
Duncan on the hop. Here's Finley. And Michael Finley with the bucket.
Well, it's the same thing we saw in the first half, Marv. This team is giving up wide open shots on the perimeter. And these are good shooters out there.
Delivery to Duncan. Duncan goes to the pull-up, and Tim Duncan takes advantage. That's a 12-2 run for the Spurs.
Well, you wonder, Marv, is this team going to fight at all tonight? It looks like they're just accepting defeat, and I'm going to question the character and mental toughness of this club. They look like they've flat out quit.
And Kenyon Martin not able to hit. It's a 3-on-2. Finley wide open for three and able to knock it down. Anthony gets space. Here's Finley. And Michael Finley hits the three. Anthony wide open for the three. He fires from downtown. He hit it. Iverson kicks it back out. Here's Smith, and J.R. Smith off the mark. 5-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. They clear it out. Shot clock down to 7. Finley accelerating. Here's Finley. And Michael Finley able to knock it down. Final seconds. Anthony gets inside. The Nuggets control. Anthony finding room, and that will do it. The final score is 104-49.
The Spurs did all the right things tonight, Marv. They win the game, they win the series, and they move on.
This is Marv Albert along with Steve Kerr saying so long from the AT&T Center in San Antonio.
I'm not going to do the challenges. We're going to continue our playoffs. God, ask me this every time. Gotta save this, then save that, save this. Alright. Go. Game 2. It should be the Suns. Their rating's really good. Do that next time.
Live from the U.S. Airways Center in Phoenix, it's the deciding game of the Western semifinals between the Phoenix Suns and the San Antonio Spurs. Hi, everybody. I'm Marv Albert, along with Steve Kerr.
Starting at guard, number 19, Raja Bell. Starting at forward, number 3, Boris Diaw. Starting at the other guard, number 13, Steve Nash. Starting at the other forward, number 31, Shawn Marion. Starting at center, number 1, Amare Stoudemire.
San Antonio has to really play well here tonight, Marv. It's a one-game series. It's single elimination. They've got to pull out all the stops.
Bowen with a layup opportunity. Here's Bowen. And Bruce Bowen able to hit.
You love the hustle, Marv. The offensive board leads to the putback, and that's pure energy right there.
Nash able to extend. For 3, he hit it. Nash, nice move. Here's the steal. Finley takes to the rim.
Nice touch there on the break, Marv, but, you know, I thought he could have gotten closer to the rim, made an easier shot for himself.
Nash again.
They've got to tighten up their defense there, Marv. Poor rotation.
Parker wide open for 3. Here's Diaw.
That's highlight reel material, Marv. The slam with the foul, drawing the contact. Amazing display of athleticism.
He is not able to take advantage of a three-point play possibility. Parker looking for the open man. Here's Finley. And Michael Finley converts.
Smart play there, Marv. Rather than risk the charge at the rim, he pulled up for that little jumper.
Delivery to Nash. And Steve Nash able to hit. Steve Nash, a player who always seems to put himself in the right position.
Well, he does everything a shooter should do, Marv. He has great balance. He holds that follow-through up high and gets a nice high arc on that shot.
Nash gets inside. Here's Nash. Yes! He fires from downtown. That's his first miss of the night. Bell to the rim.
Terrific help defense there, Marv, on the interior.
Off the mark and rebounded by Marion. Why did he go to the pull-up, Steve?
Terrible decision, Marv. Anytime you have numbers, you're trying to get a layup. I thought he really settled that time.
And Tony Parker once again hits the three.
This club really wants to finish strong in this quarter, Marvin. Here's a 2-for-1 opportunity they can take advantage of. Well, they got exactly what they wanted, Marv. A nice high percentage shot, but they could not convert.
3-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. And Steve Nash able to flip it home.
This team trying to whittle away at the lead, Marv, and they are doing a nice job of getting out in transition.
Parker for three, and Tony Parker on fire. That's a 12-4 run for the Spurs.
Marv, as the home team, you want to try to get the crowd into the ballgame right away. This club has not done that. Smart move there, Marv. When you're down, it's important to really be aggressive. Get something attacking towards the rim in the paint, and that might jumpstart this club.
That's the end of the first. The Spurs lead by 10. And they're ready to play. Parker gets it inside. And Fabricio Oberto able to lay it home.
Good opportunity there in transition, Marv, and he knocks down the two-point jumper. This is all coaches can ask for, Marv. Contest every shot.
Nash able to break it down. Nice pass inside. Oh, a flamboyant finish.
Marv, maybe this will get them going because it's been a long night so far, but if you can continue to be aggressive, you can get back into this game.
Delivery to Bell. Nash feeling it, and Steve Nash not able to hit.
Well, he had a good look at the basket, just couldn't get it to go down.
Oberto with a layup opportunity.
Now, it's one of the few bad possessions we've seen from this club tonight, Marv. They've been pretty solid with their execution, but they got to be careful. Now is not the time to lose your focus.
Roger Bell puts it down. Good job by Nash. And Tony Parker hits the three. Bell got it down low. Here's Nash.
Well, nice take to the rim there, Marv, and that's the way you cut into a lead. Really be aggressive going into the paint.
Good job by Nash. Parker feeling some confidence. Delivery to Nash. And Steve Nash is able to score. Parker walks it across. That was a three-point attempt. And Michael Finley able to drill it.
This lead will continue to grow, Marv, as long as this club is getting shots like that. Another wide open look. Excellent offensive execution.
Open opportunity. Yes. What a pass. Diaw able to extend. For three. And there's another. That's a 12-4 run for the Spurs.
There is utter silence in this building, Marv, and for a visiting player, there is no sweeter sound.
Nash at the line. He's 92% at the line. And Steve Nash with 18 points. Here's Parker, and able to knock it down. 4-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock.
Well, after the disastrous start, Marv, perhaps moves like that can help this team get back into the ballgame.
And Tony Parker showing the touch.
Marv, you're paid to coach the game. You might want to make a decision here, like, how about a timeout? You're getting crushed.
Here's Stoudemire. He fires from downtown. He hit it. Here's Stoudemire. And halfway through this one, the Spurs lead by 22. The Spurs crushing off the boards in the first half. And this is a team that has done it in this style throughout the season.
Well, they're very physical. This is a very energetic team. And, you know, when you get offensive rebounds, Marv, you get a lot of putbacks. And then at the defensive end, when you control the glass, you can get out in transition. That creates a lot of opportunities for easy baskets. That was a very impressive first half.
Diaw takes to the rim.
Well, maybe if they had competed in the first half, that bucket might mean something, but this thing's way out of hand. Game over.
And Tony Parker right back. Nash kicks it back out. He took it away. Parker able to pull it back. Handled by Stoudemire.
Boy, what a poor defensive effort here tonight, Marv. I know that shot missed, but again, wide open, and the rotations and closeouts have been non-existent here this evening.
Parker gets space. And the bucket. Duncan giving no room. That was a three-point attempt. Yes. Parker feeling some confidence. Here's Nash. Here's Marion.
Marv, I think he's trying to help our telecast. He knows everybody's turning the game off right now, but who knows, if they whittle down this lead a little bit, maybe people will keep their TVs on.
Nash finds the opening, and Steve Nash able to hit.
Now, that's a nice move there, Marvin. It's important to establish something inside. Remember, this is a long game. There's plenty of time left. They can get back into this thing.
Nash on the hop. Here's Nash, and scores. Parker for three, a wide open shot.
Boy, the defense very fortunate there, Marv. Once again, giving up a wide open look from the perimeter, but that time he misses.
Parker moving to the front court. For three, and Tony Parker once again. Nash on the hop. 1 second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. He fires from downtown, and Michael Finley able to knock it home. Nash looking for the open man. Here's Stoudemire. That was a three-point attempt, and Bruce Bowen for three. For three, not able to hit the three. And that's the end of the third quarter. The Spurs lead by 30. Nash gets it down low, and the field goal. Stoudemire's 8 for 8 from the field. Parker forcing, and Tony Parker with an unbelievable 60 points. Here's Marion.
The strength, the athleticism, Marv, only the best players can finish a play like that after getting fouled hard.
Sean is a remarkable athlete. Steve, would you say he's the fastest player in the NBA?
Well, he could be, Marv, particularly at his position. I mean, when you think speed in the NBA, you get, Allen Iverson, Tony Parker, those guys come to mind. But Marion at the forward position runs, I think, as well as anybody. And he's one of the reasons why in the past couple of years the Suns have been so explosive offensively.
Nash has the hot hand. Here's Bowen. And Bruce Bowen converts.
Well, you wonder how a team falls behind by so much. It's this kind of defense, Marv. Just give them a layup, why don't you?
Parker wide open for the three.
When you keep giving good shooters open looks, Marv, they start to develop a rhythm, and then they're very difficult to stop.
Elson has come on. Nash on the hop. Here's Marion. He fires from downtown and able to knock it down. Parker is 20 for 23 from three-point territory. Nash on the hop. Here's Nash. Yes! Nash is 14 for 21 from the field. Parker from downtown. A wide-open shot.
How do you give up a wide-open look to such a good shooter, Marv? This is the second half. Where's the halftime adjustment? I know their coach talked to them about this. Boy, what a terrible offensive performance tonight, Marv. They have just been unable to get anything to go.
That was a three-point attempt, and Bruce Bowen takes advantage. That's a 12-4 run for the Spurs.
This is really where you find out about your team, Marv. You're getting pounded. What are you going to do? Quit or keep playing?
Nice entry pass. Yes. For three, and Tony Parker showing the outside touch. Final minute of this fourth quarter. Spurs up by 38. Here's Stoudemire. Duncan firing, and Tim Duncan right back.
After I finish this game, I'm gonna have to take a break.
Nash to the rim.
When it came up, I gotta take care of something. Then we'll come back and finish the rest of the playoffs.
And Tony Parker with
I would like to do it in one go, but
Marv,
sometimes
most of the
things come
crowd
up.
left a long time ago, and I would have too if I didn't have to work tonight.
Bell gets it inside. Delivery to Nash. And Steve Nash blows the layup and gets the friendly roll. 3-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. "20 seconds left in the quarter. Spurs up by 40. So that puts San Antonio over the line.
Probably shouldn't have fouled. That's
Nash to
whatever.
the line.
Why not?
And Steve Nash with 33 points. He fires from downtown, and Tony Parker forcing and hitting from downtown. Diaw with a layup opportunity. Final seconds, and this will do it for the quarter as he flings it. Time has run out in this one. The final score is 111-70.
The Spurs will move on after a convincing victory here tonight.
This is Marv Albert along with Steve Kerr saying so long from the U.S. Airways Center in Phoenix.
Yeah, I'm not doing no unique challenge. Interesting as they are, I'm not doing them. Alright, so I'm going to pause it here. Cut the recording for now, and we'll come back in a little bit and we'll finish the rest of this playoffs. But that'll do it for now for NBA Live 08. Alright, all that stuff's taken care of. Let's get back to this. Game 3 here. My stats even worse than mine.
Coming to you live from the AT&T Center in San Antonio. It's the deciding game of the Western Finals between the San Antonio Spurs and the Golden State Warriors. Hi, everybody. I'm Marv Albert along with Steve Kerr.
Starting at center, number 7, Fabricio Oberto. Starting at forward, number 12, Bruce Bowen. Starting at guard, number 4, Michael Finley. Starting at the other guard, number 9, Tony Parker. Starting at the other forward, number 21, Tim Duncan.
San Antonio can't afford any lapses here tonight.
I wasn't even paying attention.
It
took off already.
With a trip to the
That's
NBA
good.
Finals on the line.
Give me that.
Finley wide open for 3, and Michael Finley knocks down the 3.
Marv, I can't believe he pulled up and took that shot. He could have had a much easier attempt at the basket.
And Baron Davis misfires. Oh, the steal! Duncan gets inside and puts it down.
Oh,
Great
something went
job
crashing.
Offensively, Marv, running the lanes and finding the open man in transition, and that's a big basket here in the early going.
And Baron Davis with the bucket. Davis giving no room, and Tony Parker hits the three. The Warriors will get it back.
Well, no matter what the strategy coming into a ball game, Marvin, everything in basketball comes down to valuing the ball and making the most of each possession. You've got to rebound, you've got to defend, you got to take care of the ball. That's a careless mistake there.
And Steven Jackson not able to hit.
Marv, they did a terrific job getting the ball in the paint. Just didn't make the basket.
And Tony Parker able to drill it. Here's the switch. Duncan ends up with it.
Oh, there's plenty of time for this club to get back in the ball game, Marv, but they can't settle for long-range challenged shots like that one.
And able to knock it down. Tim Duncan so effective from the perimeter, and that's an impossible shot to block.
Yeah, it is, Marv, because he releases it from so high above his head. And remember, they've got those long arms with that 7-foot frame.
And Andris Biedrins got the roll.
Well, anytime you're trailing, Marv, you got to get back into the ball game with hustle and energy.
For three, and Tony Parker able to knock it home. That's a 12-2 run for the Spurs.
It's so important for this home team to get off to a quick start.
Here's the switch. The Warriors will get it back.
Well, this is what drives coaches crazy, Marv. You've got a big lead, and all of a sudden you start being a little careless with the basketball. And, you know, the momentum in this game can change so quickly. They have to start executing again.
And stuffs.
Boy, it is so discouraging, Marv, to give up such easy hoops early in the game. It really sets the tone, and now the defense on its heels.
Davis to the rim.
Marv, great opportunity for a 2-for-1 here. If they can get a quick shot, they should be able to get another possession at the end of the quarter.
Here's the switch. Harrington, who has lots of space. Here's Biedrins, and Andris Biedrins able to flip it home.
Well, Marv, the best way to get back into a game is through hustle and energy and effort, and that's what you see there.
Jumper off the mark. Davis looking for the open man. Here's Ellis, and Monte Ellis not able to hit. Parker with the shot, and Tony Parker able to knock it down. So at the end of the first quarter, the Spurs lead by 15. All right, here we go. They're setting things up. Parker gets it down low. Here's Oberto, and Fabricio Oberto able to hit. Ellis looking for the open man, and Steven Jackson is able to score.
Marv, it is so much easier to make a shot like that when you get a good pass from a teammate. That time, terrific offensive rhythm.
He took it away. Bowen gets space, and Bruce Bowen converts.
Marv, you know the old coach's adage, great offense starts with solid defense. That's certainly the case here.
Finley trying to stay in front of him, and a foul is called. That was a three-point attempt. The Warriors control. Here's Biedrins.
Well, this is how you get back in the ball game, Marv. Hustle, energy. You gotta love the offensive rebound. Second chance opportunity.
And it's a 5-second violation. Steve, how does that happen? I mean, there was a guy open. I mean, what's going on here?
Well, I think this club was caught off guard, Marv, and the passer, you know, he has to have an internal clock going. When the seconds get to 3 or 4, either call a timeout or make the pass.
And Michael Finley right back. Bowen giving no room. Delivery to Davis. The jumper is off the mark. Biedrins takes to the rim, and a foul is called.
Marv, the defense is going to have to tighten up on the glass. Those offensive rebounds will eventually kill you.
Finley walks to the front court. Here's Finley. And Michael Finley showing his range. Duncan with the steal. Here's Duncan.
Well, when you're down big, Marv, it's important to just go ahead and quit, hand the ball to the other team and say, all right, if you want to score again, that's fine with me.
Open opportunity. Off the mark. Bowen rebounds. Final minute of the quarter. Spurs up by 20. Parker pulls it up. The Warriors will get it back.
Well, it happens. You're going to turn the ball over from time to time, but it's important to get right back into the offensive groove that you've been in all night.
Davis finding room, and he puts it down.
That's the mentality this team has to have, Marv, as they try to get back into things. Attack, really get into the paint, try to create some easy shots.
That's a 10-2 run for the Spurs.
Well, this team clearly ready to play tonight, Marv. They have come out on fire, playing with a lot of energy. They're very alert and active defensively, and really on quite a run right now.
Davis gets it inside, and Al Harrington able to hit. Good job by Davis. The Warriors will get it back.
Well, for the most part, this has been a great effort here tonight for this club. So, you know, they make a mistake, no big deal, as long as they get back to playing the type of basketball that they've shown all night.
They double up. Here's the steal. Bowen pushes it up. Here's Bowen.
Well, this is atrocious coaching. You're getting pounded, and you just continue to allow your team to get beaten to a pulp without calling a timeout. Unbelievable.
And a foul is called. Here's Ellis and Monte Ellis.
I get kind of lazy now. I'm fouling a lot. Oh, being mindful of that stuff.
And on that note, the second quarter is finished. The Spurs lead by 18. The Spurs owning the first half, Steve, and they have been on fire from three-point territory.
Yeah, they're getting it done from long range, Marvin. I think it's a result of solid penetration that's drawing the defense, and then you're seeing a lot of kick-out passes for wide-open shooters.
Parker trying to stay in front of him, and a foul is called.
I'm gonna be careful with the fouls. I'm gonna get him kicked out of the game. Maybe I'll just calm down and stealing.
Davis wide open for the three. Delivery to Parker. Parker looking for that low post.
Well, you've got to give your rebounder a lane for an outlet pass, Marv. They did so there. That led to the advantage at the other end.
Davis working on the perimeter. 2-on-1. Finley again, and Michael Finley able to lay it home.
That's it. There's a nice job. Really fight back when you're down big. Way to battle.
Yes, and the foul.
That's impressive, Mark. He draws the contact and finishes with a dunk. Unbelievable.
So not able to complete the conventional three-point play.
This is a basic play in basketball, Marv. Everybody must box out on the free throw.
Finley on a quick release, and the field goal. Good job by Finley. Nice pass inside, and Al Harrington comes up short. Here come the Spurs. Now they go back to the other side. Yes, that's a 12-4 run for the Spurs.
Very difficult situation to be in, Marv. You're getting pounded, but it's important to continue to play, continue to compete until the buzzer sounds. Marv, talk about an exercise in futility. This is one of the worst offensive performances I have ever seen in the NBA.
Parker able to extend.
They've just given up way too many easy points here tonight, Marv. Penetration, offensive rebounds, you name it.
Golden State trying to get back into it. Here's Ellis, and Monte Ellis off the mark. Finley with a layup opportunity, and Michael Finley not able to score. Here's Davis, and Tim Duncan called for the foul. That's his first. And Baron Davis with 10 points. He'll have to force. And Tony Parker with the bucket. Davis setting it up. Nice entry pass. And Tim Duncan with the foul. That is his second. Harrington at the line, first time tonight. And rebounded by Duncan. Finley from downtown. He hit it. That's a 12-3 run for the Spurs.
Oh, it's been an awful performance by this club so far, Mark. Getting blown out now on the wrong end of this run. They've got to do something. They need a timeout.
3-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. And Bruce Bowen right back. Down to 20 seconds remaining in the quarter. Spurs up by 31. Parker giving no room. Not able to hit the three. And Andres Beatrice will put it home. Duncan looking for the open man. Bruce Bowen. Beautiful job with 1 second remaining in the quarter. 1 second remaining in the quarter. And Andres Beatrice off the mark. 3 quarters of this one have been played. The Spurs lead by 32. Davis to the rim, and Baron Davis could not finish.
No, this team just hasn't been able to figure out a way to get the ball in the basket all night. There's another miss there.
Here's the double. Here's Harrington. Rebound by Duncan.
This is a defensive exhibition. They're shutting this club down. That's how they've built this lead, Marv.
That's an 8-0 run for the Spurs.
Well, you wonder, Marv, is this team going to fight at all tonight? It looks like they're just accepting defeat, and I'm going to question the character and mental toughness of this club. They look like they flat out quit.
Parker running the club. Good job by Davis. And able to knock it down. Beatrice comes out to set the pick. Nice pass inside. And scores. Harrington is 2 for 9 from the field. Open shot. Yes. Finley is 10 for 11 from the field.
Well, why do you even have a coach if he's not going to call a timeout and give his team some advice? His club on the wrong end of a run, and he just continues to do nothing.
And Al Harrington able to flip it home. Finley fires. And the field goal. Finley is 11 for 12 from the field. Davis at the point. The jumper is off the mark. Ellis stepping over and gets the friendly roll. Final minute of this fourth quarter. Spurs up by 40. And that's a backcourt violation. Ori has checked in for the first time. Good job by Davis. And Tony Parker with 25 points. Here's the switch. And that's a 5-second violation. Bonner has come on. Davis on a quick release from downtown. Here's Bonner, and Matt Bonner able to knock it down. Davis setting it up. He fires from downtown. Parker able to hustle it down. 3-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Yes, Parker is 6 for 6 from three-point territory. Here's the switch. Davis got it down low, and Al Harrington able to hit. Elson gets it right back for three. Off the mark. The Spurs control. Elson on the rebound. Final seconds, and he'll just fire one up. There's the final buzzer. The final score is 88-45.
The Spurs came up huge here tonight, Marv, in this pressure-packed one-game elimination format.
This is Marv Albert along with Steve Kerr saying so long from the AT&T Center in San Antonio.
All right, one more to go. No, I'm not doing this challenge. Stop asking me. The fact it has to save twice is kind of a little annoying. All right, time for the finals. Let's do it.
Live from the Quicken Loans Arena in Cleveland, it's the deciding game of the NBA Finals between the Cleveland Cavaliers and the San Antonio Spurs. Hi, everybody. I'm Marv Albert along with Steve Kerr.
Starting at guard, number 1, Daniel Gibson. Starting at forward, number 90, Drew Gooden. Starting at center, number 11, Zydrunas Ilgauskas. Starting at the other guard, number 32, Larry Hughes. Starting at the other forward, number 23, LeBron James.
San Antonio has come a long way, Marv. Here they are in the finals. It's a one-game series. They're going to have to give their best effort if they're going to come away with the championship.
Parker gets space. Delivery to Finley. Yes. James, nice move. And LeBron James blows the layup.
Well, they got exactly what they wanted, Marv. A nice high percentage shot, but they could not convert.
Here's the steal. That was a three-point attempt. Yes.
NBA players are too good shooters, Marv, to leave wide open like that. They're going to make that shot 9 times out of 10.
And a foul is called. Hughes for three, a wide open shot. He fires from downtown, and Michael Finley hits the three. James gets it back to him. Accelerates. Gibson takes to the rim.
Oh, that's a sweet drive there, Marv. I love the way he attacked the rim.
Gibson gets him to commit, and Tony Parker right back.
Marv, he hit a terrific shot there, but you see the defense contesting that attempt. If they continue to do that all night, they'll be fine defensively.
Gooden to the line. He's an 80% free throw shooter.
Gooden played his college ball at Kansas, Marv. Originally drafted by Memphis, traded to Orlando, and finally moved on to Cleveland, where he really came into his own. A double-double guy waiting to happen every night.
And he makes them both. San Antonio gets it across, and Bruce Bowen not able to hit.
Good look at the basket, Marv. That's going to go if he continues to get that shot tonight.
LeBron James puts it down. An open opportunity for three, and Michael Finley right back. A minute remaining in the quarter. Spurs up by 7. Gibson looking for the open man, and Drew Gooden able to put it down.
They've got to tighten up their defense there, Marv. Poor rotation.
For three, and able to knock it down. James with the move, and he puts it down. That was a three-point attempt, and Michael Finley, so proficient on that catch and shoot, got it off.
Good 2-for-1 opportunity here, a chance to close on this lead. Well, this is how they've built this lead, Marv. Solid defense, contesting shots.
That's his first miss of the night. Why did he go to the pull-up, Steve?
Terrible decision, Marv. Anytime you have numbers, you're trying to get a layup. I thought he really settled that time. Excellent pressure defensively, Marv. That's how they've built this lead. They'd like to try to build the lead even more.
Hughes kicks it back out, and Daniel Gibson converts. Three seconds remaining. Well, as the first quarter draws to a close, the Spurs lead by 9. All right, here we go. They're setting things up. Here's Parker. He hit it.
Marv, the way to get back into the ballgame is to get out and defend. You've got to contest the shooter, especially one who's as good as he is.
Gibson finds the room. And Daniel Gibson not able to score.
Nice job challenging that shot once again, Marv.
Duncan fires, and Tim Duncan able to hit. That's a 10-2 run for the Spurs.
Well, things are getting a little out of hand, Marv. I think this club needs a timeout because if they're not careful, they're going to get blown right out of here. Well, nice take to the rim there, Marv, and that's the way you cut into a lead. Really be aggressive going into the paint.
Things are going pretty smooth
Finds the
so far.
opening, and Daniel Gibson able to lay it home.
Smart move there, Marv. When you're down,
Don't have
it's
quite a
important
big
to
lead,
really
but
be
we have a
aggressive.
lead.
Get something attacking towards
Might
the
have start
rim
going for
in the
more
paint,
three-pointers
and
soon.
that might jumpstart
Widen
this
that
play.
gap.
James able to extend.
Excellent job defensively, challenging the shot there, Marv.
He fires from downtown. Yes, that's a 12-4 run for the Spurs.
There is utter silence in this building, Marv, and for a visiting player, there is no sweeter sound.
And the steal.
Oh, the steal.
Bowen to the rim, and Bruce Bowen able to hit.
Oh, this is what bad teams do, Marv. They fall behind, they quit, then they hand the ball to the other team and say, go ahead, score again if you'd like.
James with a layup opportunity. Delivery to Parker. Parker wide open for the three.
Marv, you're paid to coach the
Yeah,
game.
I'm crushing
You might
him.
wanna make a decision here, like, how about a timeout? You're getting crushed.
Yes, you're getting crushed.
Ilgauskas pulls it up. The Cavs control. Ilgauskas at the line. He's 83% at the line. And hits both. For three, and Tony Parker with the touch. Another three. James gets inside.
Well, after the disastrous start, Marv, perhaps moves like that can help this team get back into the ballgame.
Parker draws the double. Here's Hughes.
That's why they're getting blown out, Marv. They're not completing plays. They're getting to the rim, but I don't know where the focus is here tonight.
Three-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Here's James. Jumper off the mark. Ilgauskas looking for the opening. Here's Duncan.
Well, you wonder how a team falls behind by so much. It's this kind of defense, Marv. Just give him a layup, why don't you?
Finley feeling some confidence. Michael Finley. Beautiful job with 1 second remaining in the quarter. That's the end of quarter number 2. The Spurs lead by 24. The Spurs owning the first half, Steve, and they have been on fire from three-point territory.
Yeah, they're getting it done from long range, Marv, and I think it's a result of solid penetration that's drawing the defense, and then you're seeing a lot of kick-out passes for wide-open shooters.
James fires it out. Here's James. The Cavaliers will get it back. Ilgauskas kicks it out. The jumper is off the mark. Oberto able to hustle it down. Here's Oberto. Fabricio Oberto with a gorgeous move. Gibson takes to the rim. Rebound by Bowen. Finley able to pull it back and rebounded by Ilgauskas. Here's Finley. And Michael Finley with 23 points.
Huge run here, Marv. And yeah, the coach looks good in his Armani suit, his hair all slicked back, but he's doing nothing. Call a timeout. Marv, I think he's trying to help our telecast. He knows everybody's turning the game off right now, but who knows, if they whittle down this lead a little bit, maybe people will keep their TVs on.
James finding room. LeBron James with the bucket, and he'll head to the line.
Marv, great job drawing the contact and still having the strength to finish the play.
So it's a conventional three-point play. Here's the switch. Parker with a nice pass and scores. James looking to make his move and stuffs.
Now that's a nice move there, Marvin. It's important to establish something inside. Remember, this is a long game. There's plenty of time left. They can get back into this thing.
And Michael Finley right back.
Boy, Marv, as a shooter, if you're left that wide open, makes the game an awful lot easier.
James able to break it down. LeBron James. Parker walks to the front court. Here's Finley. And Michael Finley right back.
When you keep giving good shooters open looks, Marv, they start to develop a rhythm, and then they're very difficult to stop.
And Daniel Gibson able to flip it home. Parker walks it across. Here's Finley. And the field goal.
How do you give up a wide open look to such a good shooter, Marv? This is the second half. Where's the halftime adjustment? I know their coach talked to them about this. Once again, Marv, this club cannot make a shot. They've had some decent looks all evening, but just hasn't been their night.
Here's James. And they clear it out. And Tony Parker showing his range. And here we have the end of the third quarter. The Spurs lead by 34.
All right, last quarter. Do it.
Here's the switch. Delivery to James. Bowen giving no room. Here's Gooden. And Drew Gooden is able to score. And it's a
Oh man, what the heck?
violation.
I didn't want to go that far back. This little joystick, the little stick thing is like so hard to control. You know,
Good job by
nowhere near
Bowen.
good as a
James with the shot. The
Look at all
Cavaliers
this.
control. Gooden to the line. And he makes them both. 2.5 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Spurs up by 30. Bowen on a quick release, and Bruce Bowen showing the outside touch.
When you give up wide open shots all night long, Marv, you're going to get blown out, and that's exactly what's happened here tonight.
Bowen with the shot, and Bruce Bowen right back.
Boy, the way this team is executing their offense, Marv, it looks like they've been together for years.
Here's James, and LeBron James could not finish. Finley wide open, and Michael Finley with 37 points.
Marv, here we are in the second half, and this team is still giving up wide open looks to good shooters. You can't win if you play that way.
James back at the line looking to complete a three-point play. So that's a three-point play. Delivery to Finley. Here's Finley. And Michael Finley feeling it.
All right, let's take it home. We're almost done.
James gets space. A minute and a half remaining in the fourth. Spurs up by 31. James, nice move. Here's James. Bowen goes to the pull-up, and Bruce Bowen able to knock it down. Gibson with the move, and Daniel Gibson not able to hit.
Boy, what a terrible offensive performance tonight, Marv. They have just been unable to get anything to go.
That's a 12-4 run for the Spurs.
This is really where you find out about your team, Marv. You're getting pounded. What are you going to do? Quit or keep playing?
Finley moving to the front court. Here's Finley. And there's another. Gibson finds the room. Here's Gibson. And Daniel Gibson converts. Parker on the hop. That was a three-point attempt.
Ooh, 100 plus. That's a good kind of crush right there.
Gibson at the point. Ori coming on. 4-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. The Spurs clear it out. Shot clock to 4. Finley again with the open shot. He fires from downtown, not able to hit the three.
It's ours. We won.
It is
Champions.
all over. The Spurs are the NBA champions. What a moment.
The Spurs have done it, Marv. They've pulled it off. They've won the championship, and this is what you work so hard for in the offseason.
This is Marv Albert along with Steve Kerr saying so long from the Quicken Loans Arena in Cleveland.
Yeah, that's a trophy. I think it's interesting they have these challenges, but I'm not doing them. We'll save. Why not, right? Can't hurt. There's our stats. A lot of things you can do. Roll them credits. Fun. NBA Live is always fun. Relaxing experience, right? Yeah, I'll get there. Yep. Alright guys, that is NBA Live. I'll wait for the Sony PlayStation Portable, the PSP.